Hey guys, well, I haven't done a teardown video as of yet, so I figured this would be a good subject to start with. It's a dental x-ray head from 1979. It should have a 100 kV transformer inside it. It's pretty big for a dental head, and it is ridiculously heavy at 60 pounds. So I'll start by removing this whole mounting yoke assembly and see what's underneath the shell. It's got a few set screws on this ring here. Pull those out. Spins pretty freely. Got quite a few threads. Oh man. Look at that. Interesting. I'll set that aside. So these are obviously the leads going into the transformer and the filament. Should be another one on this side. Let's flex around. Interesting piece of hardware. Full of grease. Flip that around. This other one here. this should pull off now. It's pretty solid. Not sure where to put it. So underneath that mounting bracket, it appears as though there's a few more screws, well, 4 more on each side. There's little plates here. Let's go ahead and take those out. Probably isn't the most interesting video I've taken, but I thought it was really cool and I wanted to share it with you because it's not something you see too often. Okay, let's see what's underneath the hood. Whoops, wrong way. That's a heck of a lot of lead. Zoom in on that for you. Just a whole seam of solder. So I've taken the camera out of the tripod for a second to show you guys something. Although I won't be using the X-ray tube, I do like to keep them because they do look really cool. So unfortunately, during shipping, it would appear as though the tube for this particular transformer has shattered. So I discovered that by tipping this over. So let me know if you can hear this in the video or not. I'm going to try and tip this head over. You can actually hear the glass pieces floating. Try it again. So hopefully you can hear that. I definitely hear glass rattling around metal. Oh well. At least you guys will be able to see the carnage when I tear it open. So since this video is getting to be about 8 minutes long, I'm going to split it into 2 parts. That way it'll give me some time to get a container big enough to handle the oil that is within this head here. Get a chisel sharp enough to break these solder seams. Well, alright guys, I look forward to showing you the second part of this video once I get this mess sorted here. Thank you all again for watching. Stay safe and take care. Well, alright guys, here's part 2 of the X-ray head teardown. I've taken all the lead off of it, as you can see. It was just a rather thin coating. Just bends pretty easy. God, this has to weigh about 9 pounds or so right now. Put that over there. Alright, so I've got this tub here for all the oil. Some gloves. Some safety glasses, just in case, you never know. And a wrench. So basically I'm going to pop these 2 screws here. Start dumping it out. I've got some cardboard laying out just in case. Might get a little messy. But we'll see how this goes. My friend there in the UK, High 1 Voltage 1 Rules, I was actually very surprised to see that he actually has the very same X-ray head himself. So, thanks again for making that video, man. That actually helped me with the takedown of this. you can see, there's a bit of oil coming out of there already. So I'm probably going to just grab it, lift it up real quick, and tip it in. I'm not sure how else to go about it. Okay, ready? Oh yeah. What a mess. There has to be at least a gallon or so in this thing. Although I never would have used that X-ray tube. It would have been nice to have, unfortunately. And there's fragile stickers all over the box. I don't know how they screwed that up. Doesn't surprise me though. Pardon the background noise. So I'll pause the video for a second because this is going to be draining for a while. It's been a few minutes now and it's still draining. This is an entire gallon of it so far. Just basically letting it drip out a bit more. Well, so now most of the oil's out of it. I've got 3 screws here, 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom, that are covered in lead. So I've got this Dremel here with a cutting wheel. I'm going to go ahead and chop these off. See how it goes. Here. heavy, that one. So alright. Well, alright. I've got the screws chopped. That was quite a task. Now I've got to just take a second to vacuum up all these bits. Now this part is a pain. Just chiseling it open. I managed to get a chisel up underneath the seam to a point where I can fit this flathead screwdriver in, just so I can go underneath it and sort of lift it up. Alright, I finally hacked away at those solder seams, and it took a while. Let's crack it open. Oh man, tube glass. Little bladders. That is a very nice transformer. Looks like a little filament transformer right here. Those windings are massive. He's just loaded with tube parts. That sucks. Oh well. Well, I wonder if it'll come out now. I chopped the screws off. I don't know how well I did. We might be able to get it out. Well, alright guys, here it is. Sorry I didn't get the total opening of the case on video. What happened was the battery to my camera died, which was quite upsetting. That, and it was probably pretty boring just watching me smash the thing open. But this is what came out of it. Looks like the filament transformer here. It is a huge transformer too. So I thought that went alright overall for my first teardown video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So as soon as I can sort out some sort of enclosure for this, get it vacuumed out. That might take me a couple weeks, but I'll eventually get there, and it should give us some awesome arcs in the end. Well, take care everybody. Thanks again for watching, and stay safe.
Alright, this session we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up one of these General Electric X-ray machines. This one has a short circuit in it. The B+ transformer pulls extreme current and nothing comes out of it, so it's useless the way it is. Now the way these things are made is they're made in two shells that go together and they're soldered in this seam here, so it's quite a job to get them open. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to drain the oil out of it. We have a gallon jug here, and we'll go ahead and put the oil in that jug. The oil, if it's not contaminated with charred carbon, is very valuable for use for high voltage installation. To get the oil out of it, we've got a plug in it. We'll go ahead and take that plug out and drain the oil into the jug. We'll use a big funnel for that. Alright, so we'll get these wires out of the way. The oil is pouring out now into the funnel. We'll just go ahead and let that drain. It'll take about 5 minutes for it to all get out of there. Okay, now we have all the oil out, and you see it's most of a gallon. I slopped a little of it, so about a half an inch of it or so is gone. But we got almost a gallon of it, and it looks like it's fairly clean oil, so maybe the transformer didn't arc over. We'll find out. To get it open, we're going to have to chisel this open. I've tried heating these with a torch to get them open just by melting them, and that is really quite a job to do. The only success I ever had was I had 2 torches, I had a helper, and between the 2 of us we were able to heat the thing enough to where we could get it open. But what we're going to do is we're just going to take a chisel and we're going to cut that top bead off of there. You see, as we drive the chisel in there, it breaks the solder seal. Use a smaller chisel on the end. Alright, that takes care of that one. All we're doing is we're breaking the solder seal from the thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this. Since we can't split it outwards on the corner, I'm going to split it, and that way we can do it. I'm just going to take the chisel. We now have a cut in there, and that makes it to where we can split the end out. Okay, we have 1/2 of the transformer now split out. I just took it over, and we'll just go along and do the other side. Same thing. You can pick these x-ray heads up at junkyards, usually for about 20 bucks each. You just talk to the guy that owns the place, owns the junkyard, tell him you want to save all the old x-ray machines he gets in, and you'll buy them from him. And give him current scrap price for them. And he'll save them for you. Most of them are happy to get the money up front. A little bit more. I'm going to set it up right, and we're just just going to lift. There's our transformer. I'm going to cut. Put these other wires off the other side here. Cut the filament transformer loose. This is the filament transformer here. I don't see any signs of arcing on it at all. This is the expansion chamber here. They have that for that keeps the air pressure from building up inside the transformer and splitting the case open, causing oil leaks. Okay, now here we have our high voltage transformer. I don't see any obvious signs of arcing yet. All right. There's no obvious signs of arcing here, so it's possibly the tube. Okay, here's our X-ray tube. A little bit more oil here. I'm going to pour in the bottle. The oil doesn't look particularly discolored either. So it's possible that it's just the X-ray tube that's arced over. All right, we'll need a screwdriver. We just take a couple screws out there and the X-ray tube will come right out. These are throwaway units. They don't repair them. They're obsolete, so they're never used anymore. This particular type of X-ray machine is not used on humans anymore. It puts out far too much radiation. So there's the X-ray tube assembly right there. All right, let's pull the tube out and see what it looks like. They have one screw in the bottom. That's all that holds it. It's cantilevered out in there, and yet I've never seen one break off. And I've seen them thrown off of trucks and stuff, yet never have seen an X-ray tube that's broken off in there, even though it's held on there only with that one little screw. The tube looks completely intact. There's no sign of arcing or anything else. That's our little X-ray tube. That's a beautiful little job, isn't it? A tube like this is capable of 150 kilovolts. I mean, you can put 150 kilovolts on it if it's under oil. You can get away with probably on the order of 75,000 with it in the air. Okay. So that's how we open up one of these Gendex X-ray heads. Now, see if we can see anywhere that we have a short here. I don't see any sign of arcing. The only way is to hook power onto it and see where the short circuit is. Because there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it, which means we probably have a good transformer. Okay, we'll go ahead and test the X-ray tube now and see how it works. This is our setup here. We have a filament transformer with a variac hooked onto it. We have a high voltage power supply. It goes from 10 kilovolts to 40 kilovolts. We've got a survey meter to make sure we don't get radiated. We've got a fluoroscope here, which is used to see the output of the tube. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll put the tube into the housing. This housing is made out of a lead-filled plastic, and it's used to get rid of all of the stray radiation. So what we'll do is stick that in there. And we've got a screw here that goes up in there and catches that screw in the end. Get it lined up. Okay. And we'll get our high voltage wire hooked to it. And our filament wires hook up just with these little quick connects. They did that very nicely in the X-ray machine, so that you just pull the transformer loose and the little quick connects come right out. Okay, we're going to aim that right off into the fluoroscope. Okay, and that's our setup. So our beam will just go right straight in the fluoroscope, and we've got a video camera hooked onto it with an image intensifier, so it gives a pretty good image. I'll go ahead and just stick this thing in the beam here. It'll just give a pattern of that. Okay, let me get over here onto the monitor. Okay, this is the monitor. Now I'll go ahead and turn on the power supply. And I'm going to set it first to about 20 kilovolts. Okay, now I'm going to run the filament up and we'll see what happens. I'm just increasing the filament. Yep, there it is. We get some X-rays. Okay, we're running about 100 microamps now at 20 kilovolts. Okay, I can run it up. I'm going to run it up to 200 microamps. That's 300 microamps. That's a milliamp. Okay. Now if I run the voltage up, okay, here's 30 kilovolts. Notice we start really saturating out there. Something happens to our video here when we run that kind of voltage. I don't know what's going on there. That's 20 kilovolts again. So we get a good X-ray image at it. If I turn on the survey meter, we don't get any reading. Just heck of a reading when we get into the beam. But outside the beam, you can see that that plastic shield really does a good job of keeping it down. We're just reading background here, but we get just into the beam a little bit. My goodness. It's strong. It's probably a few hundred milliamps per hour rate on it. Maybe more than that. I'd have to calculate it to see. Okay, I'm going to shut this off so that we don't overheat the tube. And it looks like our tube is good.